From the Ticats Audio Network, this is Ticats Today with Brayden Neville.
Hello and welcome to Ticats Today. It's May the 10th on the Ticats Audio Network. I'm Brayden Neville, and we have an exciting show for you today as we will be joined by Ticats assistant head coach, offensive coordinator, and quarterback coach Tommy Condell, and also assistant coach and defensive coordinator Mark Washington. Before that, though, we have a lot to get into. I want to remind you that we are officially only one day away from football being back in the hammer, as tomorrow at McMaster, the Ticats will be holding their rookie camp. There'll be a plethora of great talent there, including our draft picks from last week. So make sure to listen to all my draft interviews with those guys on Ticats Today to get yourself reacquainted with them. Fans who are attending training camp, that's going down on Sunday. You can enter the Ron Joyce Stadium via the east side. The doors will open 15 minutes prior to practice, and of course, that will be free of charge. It'll kick off at 11 a.m. So an exciting time of year. Main camp only 4 days away. Rookie camp tomorrow. You'll be able to see some of your favorite veteran players there. I got the chance to talk to assistant coach and offensive coordinator Tommy Condell about training camp and some of those additions you'll be seeing out there for the first time in black and gold. Coach, how you doing today?
Awesome. Getting ready to start rookie camp. Pretty excited about that. Get out in the field. It's here. Finally here.
How was the offseason? Anything exciting over the offseason for you?
It was somewhat of a quick off season, but at times, as soon as we finished up with all the quality control stuff and wanted to definitely improve from last year, and we were able to do that not only from looking at the things that we did well and the things that we need to improve upon, and then free agency hit, and we were able to be a part of that, which was great, and we got a lot of great free agents that came aboard, and I know we're going to probably talk about it, and that's the reason why I'm so happy and smiling. I can tell you that.
Absolutely. And so you're entering your fourth consecutive season now with the Ticats and seventh altogether. What do you enjoy most about being with this organization?
I think the biggest thing is, from caretaker Bob and Mr. Mitchell and those guys, all the owners, they give you a chance to be successful and do the little things that make you feel a part of something bigger than yourself. The other thing that, I also have my family here. I live here. Hamilton is home, and I have 4 boys, and we're ingratiated in the community. And we've been here now on and off for 9 years, I guess you'd say. And it's just been a tremendous honor to be a part of this hardworking community. Nothing's given to anybody, and it's about hard work, passion, and integrity, and that's what I want to raise my kids about.
And you mentioned earlier some new faces now around the organization, and I guess I'm going to get to one of the biggest signings, and that's new quarterback Bo Levi Mitchell. How important will it be having a veteran like Bo running this offense?
Oh wow! I mean, it's his talent and the things that he's done in the past speaks for themselves. Obviously, when you have some type of quarterback of his caliber, he not only brings from the skill level, but the thing that he understands that he's going to elevate everyone else up. And that's what he has done in the past for all the years that he's been in Calgary, and he's going to do it here. It's been a tremendous honor to have him here. He's gotten here about last month or so, and to be a part of the community. And he's done all that, and we've had a lot of conversations, pre, post, all that kind of stuff. So it's been an honor to get a chance to work with an individual like that, a guy that has high intelligence, high competitiveness, and has a lot of confidence.
Yeah, even I got to meet him briefly in the locker room, and I'd be lying if I said I wasn't a little bit starstruck. So just having a guy like that around just brings an aura to the team almost. But as important as it is to throw the ball, it's also very important to run it. And the Ticats have some guys who can do that, including the new addition, James Butler. What will he bring to that offense?
All the guys that have have come here in a free agency, Butler included. He brings a physicality that we need, and not only that he can be able to come out of the backfield, run the ball, protect the passer, those kinds of. He's a highly, and I probably I think he still has a podcast, so it's a shameless plug, I think, probably for him. But he's an intelligent young man, You can hear him, because we did all that research and stuff like that, and he's able to communicate, and we're excited to have him. But along with him and that physicality that he's going to bring is, I'm super excited about the offensive line. It starts with those guys, and we can have everything we want, all the schemes that we want, but it really comes down to a physical brand of football that we've got to be able to bring it to the hammer, and to be able to have Joel Figueroa back. I was with him in 2013 when he first came aboard, so to have that great big old smile, but most importantly, how he plays on the field too. I can tell you, he's going to go throughout the whole team of understanding what it's like. And I talked about earlier, even David Beard. David Beard's not a free agent, but he's somewhat of a free agent, meaning he was traded for late last year. He was, I want to say it was week 15 or 14 or something in the CFL version. We immediately wanted to get him out and play, and he did, but he he didn't know all the ins and outs of things, right? We were still making some mistakes, not to him, but just because he didn't know, we didn't have the time in that. And to have him back, Rev being back, he's a physical presence, and Woodman Z on that, and Mr. Riley, all those guys now that are here that are going to bring that physical presence that we need, and just super excited about Joel being here. Also from the receivers, I can tell you, not only the re-signing of Tim White and all the guys some that you really don't know, Godwin and AJ and things that of those guys that you're not aware of. Keandre's back. He was a rookie and he came back and had a great year. We're expecting high things from here. And Tyler Tanowski, Hamilton's own, and he's been working out really hard. High expectations for also his individual, but also the new guys, Duke Williams. I mean, we not only, love to watch him catch those 50-50 balls, but he brings a physical presence that we're going to need. And that's going to be important for us.
I think you went through every single player there that I was going to ask you about, so that was perfect. But yeah, there's so much to be excited about on this offense. Now I want to kind of move to the coaching staff. The upcoming season, the coaching staff has been released. Why do you feel these guys are the guys for the job, and a group of guys that you feel like you can work with to make something special with this team?
Well, I'll start with the guys that, the guys that have been here, and it's been Mike Gibson and Jared Baines. We've been together now the last couple of years, and it's just been these guys are obviously diligent workers, but they also have the ability to have ingenuity and also to see a problem and solve a problem. They just don't have to come out and say, "Hey, this is an issue." Anyone can look at it and find that, but can you give us solutions? And they're able to do that. They're great men, and they just love to be able to go around them. They're proven winners of teachers, and also have the ability to, increase not only as a man, but also their skill level as a player. So I think that's important. And then we have a couple of new faces, and excited about Tim Smith. He actually was here with me. I want to say it was in 14 and 15. I think it was there. And so I got a chance to coach Tim. And then after his playing career, he's been coaching all over in the NCAA and that stuff, and was able to come up here. Very super excited, not only to have Tim here, but also as a coach now, to now pass on all the knowledge that he has, not only as a player, but now he's combining that with as being a coach. Is a passion and energy that we're going to need on the football field. And I can tell you, he always brought a physical presence, so we're going to have that as a receiver on the peripheral. Rob Payne, a running back coach, and excited about Rob. Not only he has a lot of experience, not only as from a CFL version of it and having that, but also being able to be at the youth sports level and be a coordinator. And so that experience alone is going to help, all of us, but individually and selfishly me, to be able to, he understands the issues and the problems and the timelines and that kind of thing. He's also great with computers and stuff like that. So, I mean, he's like a savant in Excel as well. So all those things all rolled into one that is also a diligent worker as well. So very, very excited about that.
Now, training camp is just around the corner. Tell me a little bit about the preparations heading into that.
Well, right now, we're just making sure that all the meetings are in order, all the teaching methodologies that we need so we can be as efficient and as effective as possible. So that's what we're doing right now, the scripts and things of that nature of what plays we're going to run. But most importantly, getting the ideas of how we want practice to be done, our core foundation philosophy, to make sure that we can communicate it, our expectations in the right way and in an effective way.
Perfect. Well, Coach, I really appreciate you coming on with me today. It was nice getting to chat with you and get to meet you. And I look forward to training camp and seeing you around the field.
Oh man, I can't wait. So, brother, I appreciate it, and I appreciate all the work you're going to do. I know it's a lot, but we appreciate you.
Big thanks to Coach Tommy Condell for joining me today on the show. A great guy and an excellent coach here in Hamilton. Before we get to our next guest, we have some big news announced today, as the Ticats have announced they have released 3 players: Brayden Addison, Jake Burt, and Zach Herzog. Obviously, the loss of Brayden Addison is a tough one. He was a guy who did a lot out there for the Black and Gold in his time, and Brayden started 8 games for the Ticats in 2022 before suffering that torn Achilles, which ended his season. He made 43 catches for 433 yards in those contests, along with 12 carries and for 67 yards. He first signed in Hamilton back in September 2018, following brief stints with Denver, Chicago, and Toronto. He had a breakout season in 2019, if you can remember that one, when he had 95 receptions for 1,236 yards and putting up 7 touchdowns. Who can forget that season? Addison has made a total of 164 receptions for 2,013 yards and 8 touchdowns over the course of his career. And he was also named an All-Star in 2019. Good luck to Brayden, a great player and a great person around the Ticats locker room. Also being released is Jake Burt. He was a first overall pick to the Cats back in 2021. Had a tough time staying healthy over the past few years. He ended up with 10 games played, 4 receptions for 40 total yards receiving. Also being released was Zach Herzog, a defensive back who didn't end up suiting for the Ticats. So good luck to those guys in the future. But I think it's time we go to our next guest, assistant coach and defensive coordinator, Mark Washington. Coach, how have you been doing?
I'm doing great, Brayden. I'm excited. I'm fired up, man. I'm ready to get this season going.
Now, it was a really busy offseason. Just take me through a little bit on that and some of the moves you guys were choosing to make.
Well, the offseason started with a bang, obviously. In December when, we made the trade for Bo Levi, and then, the setting up the structure of how we're going to set up the team from that point. And then so that when we hit free agency, we had all our ducks in a row. And then I tell you, free agency, we were able to make some moves and, get some of the players that we really were aiming at. And, man, it's been exciting. And then from there, it's just all about really, preparing for where we are now, ready to launch this season. And so it's been a very, very busy off season. Seemed like it went by very fast, but man, we're ready to go.
Now, the team signed, I'm going to start with a few guys who signed over the offseason. Jagara Davis, why was he a good piece that you felt was a good addition for the team?
Well, I mean, because he's an impact player. He's a guy that we know can make plays all over the field. Not only rushing the quarterback, but doing other things that we need him to do. And he's a high quality player that we need, and I'm excited to have him back on. He had this little 1-year hiatus, but he's back now, so I'm excited to have JG back for sure.
A familiar face back in town. It's always nice.
Yeah.
Another guy signed, Chris Edwards. What does he bring to that defense?
Oh, wow. Chris is a physical player. He's going to bring a physical force, something that, we're looking for. That's one of the hallmarks of how we want to play defense, is making sure that we're physical and we're impacting the offense in the way that we want and determining how we're going to play against them. And so he is really a strong player that I'm excited to have. And, he's going to bring that funk.
Huge name also, another addition, Jameer Thurman. What can you give me on him coming over here?
Well, I mean, Jameer is, he's been in the league quite a while. He's been extremely productive in his years over with the Red Team. And so, he's here now with us, and I'm excited to have him. Very intellectual player, very smart player. He's been picking up the defense and things that we need him to do. And so, he's going to be a guy that I think that's going to make an impact for us. That's why we brought him in.
Javian Elliott, what can you tell me about him signing here in Hamilton? I know it just seems like there's an endless list of guys that, that are coming over.
The list is long. The list
Yeah.
is long, but the list is I'm excited about this list.
It's a talented
I'm
list.
forward to being able to work with these men. And Javian is no different. A very young player, a player that's excited and wants to learn, wants to be coached, wants to be able to take his game to another level. Hopefully we can do that for him. But he brings a physicality. That's one thing that's sort of common throughout the theme of the players that we've been able to sign. Mm-hmm. There's a physicality that they bring, and that's what we're looking to do. Have a defense that is going to run around, make plays, and impact the offense.
And speaking of physicality, someone who's been here a long time, I'm going to go to Simone Lawrence. Just talk a little bit about how much he means not only to the team on the field, but also to the team and in the community of Hamilton.
Well, I mean, you have thermometer players and you have thermostat players, right? And he's a thermostat. He sets the temperature on the team. He's been here. Him and Teddy have been here the longest. And those guys, they understand the ups and the downs where we've been as an organization and as a team. And, he's a torchbearer and a standard holder. And so we need him to be himself. We need him to go out there and make impact on the game like he's been doing for years.
Now, you've been a coach in this league for years. Just tell me a little bit about how the game's changed over the years and how you've adapted your defense to the game.
Well, I mean, the game is going to evolve. It's going to continue to do so. I mean, I guess if you're in it long enough, things will sort of recycle again, and everything is cyclical, as they say. And so if you're in it long enough, you're going to recall the things that you did long ago. And hopefully I'm getting to that point where, you sit around like the old sage and say, oh, that's nothing but the old such and such play. And hopefully I'm getting to that point where I can recall things like that. But I mean, the league, the offenses they're evolving. They know how to use their personnel the best. Whether it's deep passes, quick passes, or just kind of run a game, gap scheme, run a game, whatever it is. Every offense is able to adapt. The thing that we have to understand, and it's always the balancing act as a defense, is understanding the personnel that you have and the way that you can play, and then still being able to adapt to what the offenses are doing as you run the system that you've developed. So I think we're in a good place right now to begin that process. Now that we just got to get on the field and see what we have.
Now, obviously, there's high expectations heading into this season with all the acquisitions and just the team in general. How do you kind of block out all that, I guess, all those expectations and just get the guys to play football?
Well, one of the things that we really focus on here are, you want to control the controllables, right? And a lot of factors like what people say or what people think of our team, the expectation that others set on our team, we really don't pay attention to those things. We understand what we want to do as an organization. We know what we want to do as a team. And then in my role as a defense, we know how we want to impact the game and help our team win and put ourselves in a position to win, the ultimate prize. And that's what we've set our goal to do that. And it's no additional pressure. I mean, we can't, we already put the pressure on ourselves because that's the goal that we want to obtain. And so that's the pressure that we have. Having it, this and that, and all these outside factors. Now, they become, I don't want to say white noise, but they become secondary when it comes to the inspiration or the impetus that we need to go and accomplish our goals. Absolutely.
And now heading into training camps just around the corner, what have preparations been like going into that?
Oh, preparations are going smooth. We've as a staff, we've been together now for few weeks and getting things prepped and ready to go. We're excited to the weather's starting to change a little bit, and so now it's starting to feel a little bit like training camp. Hopefully we can get out there with some shorts and t-shirts and get rocking and rolling. But the preparations have been going well. We're excited about it. And it's that time. Everybody has that same itch. We've looked at the playbooks. We've done all the planning and the scripting and all that type of stuff. And now it's time to actually press the button and let's go.
Well, Coach, I appreciate you joining me here today, and I'm super excited to see you around the field and to get to work and see you guys at training camp.
Oh, I'm excited too. Thank you very much.
Thank you to coaches Mark Washington and Tommy Condell for joining me on today's show. They were excellent guests. A little bit more news here before we go. The Hamilton Ticats were busy today. They have signed 5 players, including American running backs Devontae Dean, offensive lineman Jordan Boatman, place kicker Ethan Ratke, national offensive lineman Ben Coxwara, and global linebacker Panay Pavihi. Devontae Dean, he's coming over from Arkansas State University. He had 116 carries for 750 yards and 3 rushing touchdowns last season with them. Jordan Boatman played 7 games at Sam Houston State University in 2022, spending most of his time at right tackle. Ratke had 58 games over 5 seasons at James Madison University, converting 101 of 117 field goal attempts. Coxwara spent time with the Blue Bombers and Argos the last few seasons and even spent some time coaching for a little bit, if you can believe it or not. And finally, Pavihi was selected 4th round in this year's global draft and played 60 games over 5 seasons at the University of Hawaii, registering 233 total tackles during his time there. So more fresh faces signing with the Ticats. Lots of excitement upcoming. Rookie camp tomorrow. Training camp Sunday. Thank you for tuning in, and we'll see you next time on Ticats Today.